In this video, we'll be taking a look at two WNBA games happening on October 6, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these two WNBA games after fully watching this video. One thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. New York Liberty versus Las Vegas Aces. The Las Vegas Aces are far from finished. Down 2-0 in their best-of-5 semifinal series against the New York Liberty, the Aces returned to their home court on Friday night and secured a critical 95-81 victory, keeping their season alive and forcing a Game 4. With this win, the Liberty now face their second chance to clinch a spot in the WNBA Finals for the second consecutive season, but they must win on Sunday afternoon to achieve it. The Aces' offense was particularly impressive during Friday night's game against the Liberty. While putting up 95 points is no small feat, it was their defense that truly stole the show, allowing just 6 points in the third quarter. That defensive lockdown ultimately made the difference in the outcome. Leading the charge was Jackie Young, who delivered a stellar performance with 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. Kelsey Plum also had a strong game, contributing 20 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists, showcasing her offensive firepower. There's never been much doubt about the Aces' offensive capabilities, but the lingering question is whether they can consistently make key defensive stops when it counts. As the series continues, the focus will be on whether their defense can rise to the challenge while maintaining their offensive rhythm. The Liberty are still just one win away from advancing, but they now find themselves under pressure. They would much rather avoid the stress of returning to New York for a decisive Game 5. On Friday, they allowed the Aces to go on a significant run, particularly during the third quarter, and struggled to regain momentum afterward. Although 3 Liberty players managed to score in double figures, the rest of the team, especially the bench, failed to provide enough support. Breanna Stewart was the standout for New York, posting 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist, but it wasn't enough to overcome the Aces. In Game 1 of this series, the Liberty's defense held the Aces to just 77 points, but that same defensive intensity was missing in Game 3. If they failed to tighten up their defense in Game 4, they could be in for a long, difficult battle. Initially, I predicted that the Liberty would win this series in 4 games. However, after witnessing the adjustments the Aces made in Games 2 and 3, I'm rethinking that stance. In Game 2, despite the loss, the Aces displayed a willingness to distribute the ball and involve players other than A'ja Wilson, their star. Although Plum had an off night in that contest, preventing Las Vegas from securing the win, the team showed promise. They made even greater strides in Game 3, spreading the floor and pulling the Liberty away from the basket, neutralizing New York's size advantage. Additionally, the Aces played aggressive defense on Liberty guard Sabrina Ionescu, preventing her from scoring until the fourth quarter when the game was already out of reach. For Game 4, the Liberty will need to figure out how to get Ionescu more involved, possibly by finding ways for her to contribute without handling the ball as much. Meanwhile, A'ja Wilson, the league MVP, has yet to have a signature breakout performance in this series, but her coach's comments after Game the 3rd of May have laid the groundwork for her to get favorable calls. If Wilson can dominate and put up 30 or more points, the Aces will be in an even better position to force a Game 5. The Liberty are still a tempting pick, especially since they've been solid as underdogs, going 3-1 against the spread and 3-1 straight up in those situations this season. Furthermore, they've won 5 of the last 6 matchups against the Aces, so there's no need to panic just yet. That being said, the Aces clearly have an advantage on their home court, where they've now won 12 consecutive playoff games. In Game 3, Las Vegas ramped up their ball pressure, and A'ja Wilson played nearly the entire game, only resting once the Aces had established a comfortable lead. If the Aces continue to play with the same intensity, they should be able to force a winner-take-all Game 5 back in New York. Therefore, the Las Vegas Aces to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Aces will need to play at a fast pace and dominate from the perimeter to capitalize on their smaller lineup. This will likely force the Liberty to keep up by playing at a similar tempo and relying on their scoring rather than trying to slow the game down with perimeter defense. In Game 3, Las Vegas opened things up with strong performances from their backcourt, which exploited New York's decision to play big. I expect Plum and Young to once again be key players on the perimeter and for this game to be another high-scoring affair, likely reaching the 80s or 90s. Therefore, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Minnesota Lynx versus Connecticut Sun. Game 4 of the WNBA semifinals is set to take place on Sunday, featuring a matchup between the second-seeded Minnesota Lynx and the third-seeded Connecticut Sun. With Minnesota leading the best-of-5 series 2-1, a victory in this game would secure their spot in the WNBA Finals. The Lynx managed to secure an important road win in Game 3, defeating the Sun 90-81 despite entering the contest as 2.5-point underdogs. Whoever comes out on top in this series will go on to face the winner of the other semifinal, featuring Las Vegas and New York, for the championship. Although the Lynx have regained home court advantage, their goal is to close out the series on the road without needing to return to Minnesota. Their performance in Game 3 was impressive, particularly on the offensive end, where they put up 90 points en route to a 9-point victory. Navasa Collier has been outstanding throughout the playoffs, and her contributions continued on Friday as she recorded 26 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. It wasn't just Collier who shined, though the Lynx featured a well-balanced offensive attack with 4 players scoring at least 11 points. If Minnesota can get off to a fast start in Game 4, their chances of finishing the series and advancing to the finals will be significantly improved. The Connecticut Sun initially appeared to be in a strong position after winning Game 1, suggesting they could make a run to the WNBA Finals. However, their defense faltered in the subsequent games. In Game 3, the Sun managed to score 81 points, but their defense allowed 90, which ultimately led to their defeat. The Sun fell behind early, trailing 23-16 by the end of the first quarter, and were unable to mount a comeback. All 5 starters did manage to score at least 13 points, with Brianna Jones leading the way with 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. However, the defensive lapses were too much to overcome. If the Sun want to keep their season alive, they must tighten up defensively and avoid falling into an early deficit, as the Lynx are brimming with confidence heading into this crucial game. One of the glaring issues for Connecticut in Game 3 was their poor shooting from beyond the arc, as they went just 3 for 20 from three-point range. Despite this, they kept the game within single digits, suggesting they have room for improvement in their shooting efficiency. On the positive side, the Sun dominated the offensive boards, securing a 13-6 advantage in offensive rebounds. With their season on the line in Game 4, Connecticut will need to shoot better from long distance and maintain their aggressiveness on the glass. The Minnesota Lynx have proven to be incredibly consistent, especially as underdogs, boasting a 5-0 record against the spread and a 5-0 straight-up record in their last 5 games in that role. Although the Lynx are a strong team, the physical and gritty nature of this series suits the Sun, who tend to thrive in such conditions. Given these factors, the Connecticut Sun to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Connecticut finds itself in a must-win situation, as a loss would end their season. To extend the series, the Sun will need to abandon their typical slow-paced, defensive-minded strategy, which has been ineffective against Minnesota's potent offense. In Game 3, the Lynx took control early, winning the first quarter 23-16. and forced Connecticut into an up-tempo style of play, while the Sun can play faster when necessary, as evidenced by all 5 starters scoring in double figures. It is not their preferred approach. Minnesota, on the other hand, excels in a fast-paced game, utilizing perimeter-oriented play and effective floor spacing to score quickly. Whether it's giving Collier room to drive to the basket or finding open shooters on the outside, the Lynx have the offensive firepower to thrive in a high-scoring contest. In Game 3, the teams combined for 171 points, easily surpassing the projected total, and a similar result is expected in Game 4. Therefore, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.